Have you ever wondered why the loudest voices rarely carry the deepest truths? Why those who grasp most tightly often find themselves the weakest? There is a subtle but profound strength in the art of detachment, a power not born from force, control, or dominance, but from the calm refusal to be consumed by what is beyond our control. It is here, in this quiet surrender, that true freedom and strength emerge. The world, in its endless noise, persuades us to cling to ideas, to outcomes, to people, and to identities. Yet, the wise know that attachment is the root of suffering, and that the ability to step back, to observe without judgment, is where resilience is born. When we let go, not out of defeat but out of clarity, we reclaim ourselves. This is not about indifference, it is about mastery over the tides that threaten to sweep us away. Detachment is often misunderstood. It is mistaken for coldness, for apathy, or for avoidance. But in truth, it is the most intimate form of self-respect. It is the recognition that your worth does not depend on external validation, that your peace is not hostage to chaos. This radical acceptance enables you to navigate life's storms without losing your center. Consider the way a tree bends with the wind. It does not resist, it yields. Yet in yielding, it remains firmly rooted. This is the paradox of power. The mighty strength lies not in rigid control but in flexible surrender. To hold on too tightly is to invite fracture. To release wisely is to endure and grow. How many times have you found yourself trapped in the turmoil of expectation, expecting from others, from circumstances, from life itself? How many nights spent restless because reality refused to align with desire? These moments reveal the tyranny of attachment, the quiet slavery we accept in exchange for the illusion of certainty. But what if the key to freedom was to stop chasing? What if the greatest victory was to withdraw your investment from the battles that do not serve your growth? This does not mean withdrawal from life. Rather, it is engagement without obsession. It is participation without possession. In detachment, we find clarity. Our mind, uncluttered by anxious longing or fear of loss, becomes a mirror reflecting reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. This clarity empowers decision-making, fuels creativity, and nurtures compassion. When not entangled in emotional dependency, we respond rather than react, with wisdom rather than impulse. Yet, detachment is no simple practice. It requires courage. It demands we face the discomfort of uncertainty, the vulnerability of being without guarantees. It asks us to confront the ego's hunger for control and to embrace humility, the understanding that some forces lie beyond our influence and that resisting them only causes harm. In every human relationship, detachment is a silent art. To love without clinging, to give without expecting, to hold someone close while granting them space. These are expressions of maturity. The paradox of true connection is that it thrives in freedom, not in captivity. When we grasp too tightly, we suffocate love. When we release wisely, love flourishes. This is not about distancing oneself from life's joys and pains. On the contrary, detachment enhances our experience by allowing us to feel deeply without being overwhelmed. It cultivates resilience by teaching us that pain, like joy, is transient, an ebb and flow in the vast ocean of existence. Imagine the peace that comes when you stop trying to force outcomes and instead align yourself with the natural rhythm of life. Imagine the power of stepping back to see the bigger picture, to understand that some things are simply not yours to carry. This is liberation. Philosophical traditions across cultures have long recognized this truth. Yet it is not an abstract ideal but a practical path. Each moment offers a choice, to clutch or to release, to resist or to flow. The quality of your life depends on the choices you make in these moments. Let us then explore the layers of detachment, its psychological foundations, its emotional challenges, and its spiritual rewards. Let us examine how detachment shapes our identity, influences our relationships, and transforms our understanding of power. Psychologically, detachment is linked to emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions. It is the capacity to observe feelings without being controlled by them. This awareness allows for healthier responses and prevents destructive patterns of codependency and obsession. Emotionally, detachment demands mindfulness, a present, focused attention that helps us see situations clearly and act wisely. Mindfulness teaches that clinging to the past or fearing the future only amplifies suffering. By embracing the now, we reduce anxiety and open space for acceptance. Spiritually, detachment invites us to transcend the ego's illusions, to realize the interconnectedness of all things, and to surrender to a reality greater than ourselves. It is the doorway to inner peace, a sanctuary beyond the transient waves of desire and fear. But what about ambition, drive, and passion? Are they incompatible with detachment? Far from it. True passion arises not from desperate need but from inspired purpose. Detachment frees energy trapped in fear and craving, redirecting it toward authentic goals. It fuels perseverance without obsession, focus without fixation. In practical life, detachment means setting boundaries, knowing when to say no, when to step back, and when to protect your energy. It means letting go of toxic relationships, unhelpful habits, and unrealistic expectations. It means cultivating a mindset that values growth over possession. To practice detachment, begin by observing your attachments, notice what you cling to and why, reflect on how these attachments influence your emotions and actions. Ask yourself, are these attachments serving my well-being or diminishing it? Can I release them without losing myself? Next, cultivate gratitude for what is present rather than longing for what is absent. Gratitude anchors us in reality, shifting focus from lack to abundance. It softens the grip of desire and opens the heart to acceptance. The nature of detachment also reveals something fundamental about how power truly functions. Many equate power with control over others, domination, command, and manipulation, but real power is the power over oneself. It is the ability to govern one's own mind, emotions, and reactions. When you master detachment, you no longer surrender your inner world to external chaos. This mastery is invisible yet undeniable. It shapes your presence and how others perceive you. People are drawn to those who possess calm certainty. This kind of strength does not boast or demand, it simply is. It emanates from a place of self-possession so deep that external circumstances cannot shake it. This is the power of detachment. It disarms conflict by refusing to be provoked. It dissolves anxiety by refusing to feed it. And it commands respect by refusing to beg for it. In relationships, detachment protects you from becoming entangled in destructive patterns. We all crave connection, yet many suffer because they confuse attachment with love. Attachment breeds dependency, jealousy, and control, while detachment allows love to breathe freely, without chains or conditions. It grants you the freedom to love fully and to walk away without bitterness when love no longer serves your growth. This is not a call to isolation but to clarity, to love with open eyes and with hands open, not grasping. Detachment makes you less reactive to the drama and more responsive to the essence of the person before you. It invites you to hold space for yourself and others, respecting boundaries and honoring individual freedom. In the professional world, detachment manifests as the ability to remain composed amid pressure, to take failures and setbacks in stride, and to maintain focus on what truly matters. When you are not emotionally bound to every outcome, you can navigate challenges with creativity and resilience. You learn to distinguish between effort and attachment to results, freeing yourself from needless frustration. Consider the stories of those who succeeded not by frantic striving, but by patient persistence and calm confidence. Their secret often lies not in relentless control, but in a wise surrender, a letting go of panic and a trust in process. They know when to push and when to yield, when to hold and when to release. Detachment also refines our relationship with time. So much of our suffering arises from clinging to past regrets or anxiously fearing future uncertainties. Detachment invites us to live fully in the present moment, to honor what has passed without being trapped by it, and to meet the future with openness rather than dread. When we free ourselves from the chains of time-bound anxieties, we reclaim our energy and focus. We become architects of our lives rather than victims of circumstance. We understand that the past is a lesson, not a prison, the future a possibility, not a threat. The process of detachment is deeply transformative. It reshapes your identity from one defined by external conditions to one anchored in internal freedom. Instead of being reactive, you become reflective. Instead of being driven by fear or desire, you act from wisdom and intention. This transformation requires patience and compassion for yourself. Detachment is not about cold rejection or harsh judgment. It is a tender process of self-discovery and growth. It calls for a gentle curiosity about your own attachments and an honest willingness to face discomfort. One practical tool for cultivating detachment is meditation, a practice that trains the mind to observe thoughts and feelings without clinging to them. Through meditation, you build the muscle of witnessing without reacting, of allowing emotions to pass like clouds without being carried away by the storm. But detachment is not limited to formal practice. It is cultivated in everyday moments, when you pause before reacting to criticism, when you choose acceptance over resistance in difficult situations, when you refuse to carry grudges or bitterness. It is a subtle art woven into the fabric of daily life. And its rewards are profound: inner peace, emotional resilience, clarity of purpose, and freedom from unnecessary suffering. Another dimension of detachment is its role in personal boundaries. Healthy boundaries are expressions of detachment. They protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. Without boundaries, attachment leads to overcommitment, resentment, and depletion. Learning to say no is a powerful act of detachment. It is a refusal to sacrifice your integrity for the approval of others. It is an assertion that your needs and values matter. Through boundaries, you create space for authenticity and growth. Detachment also sharpens discernment. When you are not emotionally entangled, you can see situations clearly, recognizing when to engage and when to walk away, when to fight and when to yield. This clarity prevents wasted effort on battles that are not yours to fight. On a deeper level, detachment invites a philosophical reflection on the nature of control. We often live under the illusion that if we try hard enough, we can shape every aspect of our lives. This illusion fuels stress and disappointment. Detachment is the antidote, a radical acceptance that some things will always lie beyond our grasp. This acceptance is not passive resignation, but active wisdom. It frees you from the futility of resistance and aligns you with what is possible. It empowers you to focus on your sphere of influence and let go of what is out of your hands. In doing so, detachment expands your capacity for joy. When you stop clutching at happiness as if it were a scarce resource, you begin to experience it in the simple moments, in the breath, in a smile, in the flow of life itself. This is the paradox of detachment. By letting go, you gain more. By loosening your grip, you open your hands to receive life's fullness. By accepting uncertainty, you invite possibility. Yet, detachment also means embracing vulnerability. It is not about building walls, but about being open without losing yourself. It requires courage to be exposed, to trust without guarantees, and to face the unknown with an open heart. This courage is the foundation of authenticity, the power to show up fully as yourself without masks or defenses. Detachment frees you from the fear of judgment and rejection, allowing you to be genuine. In a world obsessed with control, certainty, and possession, detachment is a quiet rebellion, a refusal to be enslaved by external forces. It is a path to freedom that begins within, a revolution of the mind and heart. To embody detachment is to embody freedom, freedom from fear, from need, from expectation, freedom to be present, to love, to create, and to live fully. So, how do you begin this journey? Start small. Notice where you feel tense, anxious, or desperate. These are signs of attachment. Practice stepping back, breathing, and observing without judgment. Allow yourself to feel discomfort without rushing to fix it. Trust that in this space of pause, new understanding will arise. Gradually, you will build resilience and a deeper sense of peace. Remember, detachment is not a denial of life, but a fuller engagement with it. It does not mean withdrawing from the world, but meeting it with a steadier heart. It means dancing with life's uncertainties, flowing with its changes, and standing firm in your center. As you cultivate detachment, you will notice a transformation, not just in how you feel, but in how the world responds to you. Others will sense your calm strength, your grounded presence, and your radiant freedom. You will no longer be a hostage to circumstance but a creator of your destiny. And in this freedom, you will find the quiet power that shapes your life, not through force or control, but through the wisdom of letting go.